Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and I have some exciting news because they had a democratic conversation recently on the official Helldivers channel. I am a propaganda commander, which means I was actually allowed to ask them a question, and they did a whole YouTube video on it. I wish I asked more, honestly. But my personal question is, are we gonna see any upgrades to the mechs? You know, being able to reload it, more armor, more things to do with them. And they basically said, maybe. But we can see what he said for himself.
We have plans. We are looking at extending like vehicle gameplay. Like people remember from playing the first game, we had loads of more vehicles. Not saying we necessarily will bring back all of them, but you know, it would be fun to bring back some of them and kind of extend how much you can do with vehicles, and all the like nooks and crannies of it, like can you reload stuff, can you repair stuff, not guaranteeing that you will be able to, because they kind of work as like a what's it called, like a temporary almost buff. It's all like they throw in vehicles, they expect them to break, run out of ammo, like should you take care of it or just get a new one? Like it's the wasteful economy type of thing, but we are definitely experimenting a bit with that. I'm not going to make any promises, but there's a lot of people in the studio that also wants that kind of stuff. So if we can make good gameplay with it, we will definitely look into it.
Awesome.
It's not a certified answer, but you know, they can never give you a yes or no, but that means there is hope. But this does help confirm one thing about the exosuits, and it's that they are supposed to function like a temporary buff, you know, like activating your super in a video game, even if it does lack the armor. And where there's hope, democracy flies, because at least there's a chance that we might get something. If they're experimenting with it, there's room for it. I mean, they could have just said no and leave it at that, but the fact that they said other people might be into it as well, I'm pretty wishful about it. And they didn't just say exosuits, they said vehicles, which could imply a lot of different things. Maybe we will get a vehicle customization update in the future. And when I say that I would like the mechs to be upgraded, I'm not saying turn them into a tank, because from the function and the design of the exosuits, they're not really built to be that. It's no Gundam, but it's definitely a Drake and E. And I'd love to use the mech as much as I could in the game, but when you run out of ammo, you run out of fun. I wouldn't even mind if it required you to spec in a lot of your gear and your stratagems to fit so you can constantly use the mech in the field. Say something like how the DE sickle with fire armor and a supply pack. But think about it, the possibilities could be endless. There's various different ways people would like to see the mechs be buffed, and there's so many ideas out there already. And clearly they're open to it because they buffed the Patriot's ammo recently. I pray to whoever the mech diver is on the dev team, please, I will sacrifice my account for some crazy mech buffs. But speaking of buffs, let's talk about what I would like to have for the mechs in the future. And this is all me just talking about what I would like to happen. You know, I'm a fat fucking chud. I don't think they'd listen to me anyways. Well, I'm gonna be talking a lot about the Patriot. Now, I'm not gonna forget the Emancipator. The Emancipator is actually in a pretty good place, it just sucks when it runs out of ammo. But let's talk about the Patriot. Despite it receiving a little bit of buffs, I was hoping it would actually get its minigun up to heavy pen, as it is described as a heavy machine gun equivalent, but it never functions like that, because it's only medium pen. Now, I'm not even saying increase the damage, just give it heavy pen. Oh, what's that? They changed it from heavy machine gun to Gatling gun? Oh, okay. Well, anyways, it could also help with avoiding those awkward situations where the Hulk can't hurt you and you can't hurt him, so you just kind of get out and shoot him. And for the other weapon on it, the rocket pods, I would love to see this thing being capable of one-shotting Bile Titans to the head. I'm just saying, a weapon with a payload that big, you think it would kill things like Chargers and Hulks in one shot, even if you didn't hit them in the weak spot. Because up against Hulks, you have to hit them in that little eye, the one shot, and against Behemoth Chargers, it takes 2 rockets to kill them. And this isn't accounting for the fact that in battles, they might be facing their big dumpy ass at you, but most times they're going to be facing you head on. And I think this would be a pretty fair change for the mech, considering that it is pretty much a glass cannon in its current state. But giving it heavy pen to its Gatling gun and increasing the damage for the rocket pods could make it kill a lot more enemies a lot easier, other than forcing it to kill 500 different hive guards. But let's talk about something that I'd like to see for both mechs. I think this one's pretty straightforward. It's just a nice quality of life thing. You know, you don't have to step outside of your mech. You could just call an airstrike right there and continue on. Nice versatility add-on, but not something I would cry over if we don't get it. At least I wouldn't cry in public. Oh! Let's talk about the armor, as its highest point of armor is medium pen, and its main health only goes up to 850. Almost every part of the armor has a high amount of durability. But the legs! Oh, sweet liberty, the legs have no health. And I was wondering, why would the mech have such weak, fragile legs? And turns out, if you look really closely, these legs are absolutely naked. It's as bare as the guy who whacks his asshole on YouTube. And looking at mechs from other media, they also have armor on these joints. No armor, with armor. Again, with no armor. And another example with armor. I saw this when I was looking up mechs, so you guys get to see it too. So the mech has a armor issue. So hopefully they could provide us with some kind of upgrade to either give the legs more health or actually upgrade them to have armor. But I'd love to see some way that they would allow us to upgrade the mech's overall armor and capabilities. Maybe change the legs and the arms from light pen to medium pen and increase how much health it has. But another thing you'd have to think about is how would you make these mechs function longer in the field? Because there's only really two ways that you'll be getting out of your mech. Either it's destroyed or you run out of ammo. So having some kind of way to repair the mech or even reload it in the field would be a great option. They could introduce a repair tool that goes into your secondary slot so that it makes you commit a bit harder to using the mechs, allowing you to fix maybe your arms, your legs, just repair your mech overall. And for resupplying your mech, how about you get one giant backpack that is only for resupplying mechs, allowing you to get behind cover, jump out of your mech, and start repairing it and reloading it for another battle. I'll have to say, that's probably more of the video gamey style options right there. Or you could go with a completely different option and have it work like an eagle rearm. Have a ship come back down, pick up the mech suit, and fly away, taking it back to base, rearming it, and resupplying it, and allowing you to call in your next mech into the field. Mind you that none of this is guaranteed, but the fact that they said that they're experimenting puts a little bit of hope in my heart that there is going to be some fun stuff for vehicles in the future. And even if they don't, you know what? I got other mech games I can play to satisfy the hole in my heart. So what do you guys hope for in the future? Do you guys want to see something change with vehicles? Because I'm sure there's tons of ideas out there. Leave it in the comments down below and I will see you guys later.